Okay, looks like we're back on my page. Hi, Sam Tobit, Sound of Joy Music Services, and I want to share a breakdown of chords from a request from musicians in the gospel music ministry. Just give me a chance to share this page, what I'm doing right now, on that site, because I want to be able to ask or to answer any questions. Here we go. Okay. So I'm now sharing on the page. And I can monitor comments. Okay. Do some housekeeping. Always like to welcome those who come to any live stream I have. Spelled correctly. So as I was saying, there was a request on the musicians in the gospel music industry, gospel music in the music ministry, about chords that they had witnessed from a YouTube video, and I had did a write up. Now again, I've learned chords and music from dozens or even hundreds of songs over the years, so I have the ability to listen and to eliminate what notes are not being played and find the ones that are being played and how they're being merged together. So I want to be able to pass on that concept so that when you listen to any musician playing, you get an idea of where the highest note is, where the lowest note is, and what are the notes in between that make up that chord they're playing. So I want to demonstrate that by going to that same YouTube channel, playing it, and then showing you how I actually break it down. So if you come in the room, if you have any questions, please ask. I'm watching my iPad to make sure that I don't miss any real-time questions, because usually there's a delay when you post it here. So, as they say, let's go to the videotape. So, this is a take of the actual video in question. Let me pay homage and adjust it so it looks okay. That's all right. So the question came from, what are the chords played at time marker 10009? Now, as I listened to it at marker 10009, it was sort of a actual break. So I went prior to 10009. So I want you to hear, for those that are watching, what those chords sounded like. I'm piping it through my system. Here we go. I decided, yes I did, I'm over my time, but I decided to make Jesus. I decided to make Jesus. Oh. So I'm going to stop it right there. That's at time marker 1027. Time marker 1027. So I'm going to stretch it out a little bit and say what they really wanted was the marker from the chords he had immediately started at around marker 1009, I'd say. Not 1009, but 10. So let me go back. All right, so I'm at position 1001. Let's listen to the first set of chords he does on that chord run. Yes, I did. I'm over my time, but All right. That's the highest note I heard. Now you always want to ask yourself, what is the original key he's in? He's in the key of F, playing. Again, I shouldn't say he. This is the fantastic, the remarkable, the outstanding, the stupendous, the mystical musician known as Cory Henry. Again, I've often stated I saw him originally as a young man of 5 years old playing a Hammond B3, playing chords and left hand bass. He couldn't reach the foot pedals, so I've seen him. I was a eyewitness. So anytime I get to break down chords he's using, I also now get to add them to my repertoire. So the highest note I heard was in that chord phrasing. Now he has large hands. So he can, where I might look at it as, okay, uh, cropped in for me, his hands stretch out when he plays. He's got that range like this, which I don't have. So I have to now break it down. So that's that top note melody. So I break from there. What's the lowest note he's playing? Hmm. Now I wrote it out, but I'm showing you, giving you a concept, an idea of hearing the highest note without going back and playing it again. So now I can picture where he's going. Nope. Because now I'm hearing the lowest note in that, if I was just doing what they call drop two chords. Sounds better. So those are the chords that you see me that I wrote down in the at in the in part of the in part of the post. So he's coming out. I'm decided to meet Jesus. I decided to make Jesus. And and he goes down. Jesus. I believe that's another chord he had there. Because I looked at how his hands stretched. I heard these notes, but also heard that note in there. That may have been the entire chord. So let's go back again. Will it be perfect? No. But will it be in the ballpark, in the seat, in the right row? Yes. So let's back it up.
Hey, come what may, whatever be time. Yeah, I decided, yes I did. I'm over my time, but
That's what I heard. Highest note, lowest note. Now you fill in the other notes in there. You fill the other notes that are missing. If I were to bridge down, from that, Okay. Okay. That note may be better than this one. That may be a better note. That D flat. Let's see if I can hear that D flat in that run.
Hey, come what may, whatever be time. Yeah, I decided. Yes, I did. I'm over my time, but I.
Get that one. This may make a little bit more sense versus this. This would make a little bit more sense because that's where the chord is working from. Now, of course, he's doing it on with a what's the word I want to use, a electronic piano sound. Let's see if I can mimic that piano sound. It may sound a little more. We always like to work with the piano sound because it makes the notes more distinct before you begin to cloud it up with another. If there's any questions, feel free to ask. I am monitoring for questions. Again, just looking where what scale he could have possibly went to. What scale is that? Diminished scale. I'm playing the scale because I want to hear every potential note that might be in this scale. The chord. There it is. Outside of it, because it's in the scale. And then that finishing chord. So, questions? Don't know if anybody has joined us, but I want to see if there are any questions. Welcome, Adolf. Doing its stream for musicians and the musicians in the gospel music musicians in the gospel music ministry, a request for chords that were played in this particular piece. I'm looking to see if I'm in the ballpark because there are other musicians who had said they will, when they get home, they'll take a look at it. I always like to welcome Thomas. I always like to jump ahead and give an actual visual what these old ears can still pick up, especially from a talented musician such as Cory Henry. So Tell you what, let's go back into the. I was checking to make sure if there are any comments. I see that there are none. So let's go back into it, and let's see if we can decipher it, break it down a little bit more. Let's pick it up from the 10. Here we go. 10.2.
Decided to make Jesus. I decided.
Okay. He just did another chord after he came out of decided to make Jesus. Again, hearing the lowest note and the highest note and finding all the chords that are in the middle and then adding more to make it a fat chord. Now, this reach took me a while to get comfortable doing. I've always had this reach, but it could also have been here. I think I gave this chord. I wrote it down. Okay, I always try to make it easy at first because a lot of musicians might not have this reach. So I give you this reach instead. Whichever way you want to play it. But I can hear he's got that lower note down there. To make Jesus. Now he went, I've decided. Now I heard this change. Could resolve. Or there it is. Da, 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 da. Let me see. Da, 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 da. Again, Cory Henry plays a lot of jazz scales. Do I know them all? No. But if I get my book out, I could decipher which one he may have got this chord from. When he went from it could have been here. Again, I hear highest note, lowest note, and then find what scale is in between of them to help to let me hear by omitting notes so that I can hear what that potential chord might be. Just checking the comments. Can't hear the keyboard? When I've been playing all this time, you can't hear the keyboard? Okay, I might have adjusted it down when I was playing the audio through. Let me do this. All right, sorry about that. If I may have had the audio on the piano down, I was trying to not have it so loud that you couldn't hear the music in the background. So let me rehash what I was doing. Those chord changes. That should be a lot better. And then that changed when he changes, decided to make Jesus. I've decided to make Jesus. He does a. Mm, mm, Let me hear those changes he did there. Tell you what. Let's try and clean this up since I had the wrong setting there. We'll go back and take us back to where we were coming in at 10:04.
But
Okay, that's the first movement. Slow it down. Again, these are my old ears. All right, slowed it down real right there. And now the continuation.
decided to make Jesus.
Now, top note. So for those who are wondering, is that reach possible? There it is. Gotta hear that G in there. Check the comments. All right, now the next chord after that.
I decided.
Now I can see his fingers. I'm not showing them on my screen, but I can see where his fingers are. But I'm missing a note. Okay, could be that there. But I use this chord a lot. And then he's going to resolve
to make Jesus. Oh.
There's the top note I hear. I hear this note. Again, this is where I think I stopped, where I was trying to figure out. Just want to adjust that to see what chord. D major flat 5. You couldn't tell me. I couldn't tell you if that was correct or not. That chord I've used thousands of times. Now I usually resolve to that chord, but I'm not hearing that note. I'm hearing that note when I listen to it. Which, again, he plays jazz. Jazz will give you the off color tone. That's makes it so beautiful. It doesn't resolve or constrict itself to rules of playing. Welcome, Roy, for joining us. Of course, Adolph. I want to acknowledge those who come in. Willie Blanchard and Thomas. Just want to recognize you being here. So this, again, breakdown of, this was a request for musicians in the gospel music ministry. I wanted to be able to show how I heard those chords that I wrote down, and listening to it again, I already changed some of them. Before I gave, then I listened to it again. I heard this scale, then the breakdown chord here, this chord, and then what I heard is here. And now if it resolved, I would go, if it resolved there, I go yes. But it didn't. It stayed right there. Then there's a walk down he does. Let me just play that. Mm-hmm. Did he go to the B flat or A, G flat, or did he go to the F?
I decided to make Jesus. Oh.
Yep, he did go there. Mm-hmm. I'll go with that chord. What do they call that? A D7. Straight D7 chord with a and that's where I had stopped because I wasn't sure if I had covered the chords that was requested. But from what my old ears can hear, going back to time marker 10-4. Now I messed up already. There it is. There. The full chord. I've decided to make Jesus. That's where I stopped. So I'm hoping that some of the musicians who were making that request would come in and let me know. Have I given you a pathway to that song? I'm trying to see if I can pull up the musicians in the gospel ministry page so I can see if I'm being watched there. Give me a second. I'm pulling that up now. There we go. Musicians in the gospel music ministry. Okay, so I see my live there. I don't see any requests or comments, but I do want to give you the opportunity to, for those who are also looking at this same post, to see if am I in the ballpark with it. I'm not on the page anymore. I'm back on my page. But I think if you post comments, I'll see them pop up on my page. So, I didn't cover the entire song, though. I only covered up to that point. Be interesting to see what other nuggets. I know I've just picked up some chords that I wasn't using that I'm now going to start using. They call that what the drop 2 chords that has that run with it. Again, am I a jazz musician? No, I'm a musician who plays gospel, who uses elements of jazz that I have learned over the years of hearing other musicians play jazz. Now, of course, Cory Henry is an anomaly. He doesn't make it up as he goes. He actually practices everything that he does. So whenever I hear him play, I listen for what I don't know and can I borrow anything. So I've picked up 3 chord changes that I may try to implement if I'm doing a particular song, not this one, but a definitely a particular song. What I'll do, I think I've covered that much of it. It's been 30 minutes now. This should be enough to get the musician in the ballpark, as they say. And let's listen to what happened in the very beginning of the song. I'm curious now. There we go. Change that up. What happened in the very beginning? All right. He's at D flat. Let me just change up. All right. As a musician, I'm listening all the time. What is the player, the musician? Where is his mindset? Welcome, Jerome, and welcome, John. Where is his mindset when he's putting his chords together? Again, he's in the scale with his chords. But he's playing full chords. I'm not sure if that's the chord he's at, but I'm in the ballpark. So let's go back and listen to it again. So he resolves. Not exact, but I'm in the right seat. Maybe not the right role. Let me check. Ah. So he's staying in that. Remember, I talk about the harmonic minor scale? Because I play that scale, every day that I sit down to the piano, I can hear his chord changes. If he's using this note, that lets me know he's in the harmonic minor scale. Although we're in the key of D flat, he's playing the chord. What's that run he did there? Who joined us? Oh, welcome, Darryl. Just we've covered the original request of the chords from time signature. I'd say 10-4. I'm now going to the very beginning to see what we missed, just to show the concept of how, for me, scales are relative to finding chords. You find your chords built upon whatever scale you're working with. Okay, so he resolved out of that. I don't have his runs. I'm just working on the chords now. But again, just want to get to the ballpark and get to the right seat. Might not be the right aisle, but a good seat. Let's see what happens. Who doesn't use that? That's up at the top. The rest is just chords. We could go or there. More than like it's here though. There. That may be the full chord right there. That could stay there. Dun, 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 dun. I hear all these chords in my head. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's right there. Let's go a little more. Who joined us? Welcome, Juan. And welcome, Jackie, I should say. Okay, so he just went back to what's that bottom note?
While the music is playing, you can just lift your hands and worship Him.
Get that bass. Again, I hear every note from the lowest to the highest. So the bass player is way down there. Then he went. Da, da, I guess they call these worship chords. Okay. Continue.
Right in this moment, you can say whatever you want to the Lord. Oh, oh,
Still not on that bass note like I should be. I'm just expanding the chords. As you practice scales, you'll find yourself able to roll runs in D flat. There it is. Yeah, it's all the thumb. The thumb makes the difference. All right. Let's hear what else is happening. I think we pretty much got the gist of the chords in this part of the song, the very beginning of the song. Let's just see who else joined us. Well, you know, Juan, I've never been a number system guy. I hear scales and then I remove all the notes that I don't hear. So if I hear this chord, I'll know it's in this scale until I hear the next chord. If I hear the next chord, then I'll know that I'm either in a harmonic minor or in a minor scale. So you will say 4 if you're in no, actually it would be a 6 chord. If you're in D flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is why I don't like counting numbers, because the minute I add another note, that number changes. I may want to go, now that number changes. Now it becomes a 4 if that's where my lowest note is. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I'm here, now it becomes a 6. So which one do you take? I like to know, well, where's my lowest note and what chords and what's my highest note? And then what all the notes in between them. What are notes do I leave out? From all these notes, what do I leave out? I hear this note. I hear this note. That's as simple as I can make it, but now I can begin to now add more. For me, again, I'm old school. Didn't have a teacher to teach me the number system. I learned to read notes as an instrumentalist and chords in a jazz band, jazz slash classical band. So I got to hear both sides of chords, chord phrasing. So that's the concept that I'm trying to show here. Um, Welcome, Nick. I must find a way to utilize my thumb properly. The only way to utilize your thumb properly is to learn the scales the correct way to play it. Some people will play a scale starting with their thumb. Now they're trapped because it doesn't start with your thumb here. It starts with your second finger, and your thumb comes right here, comes here. Once you learn where it's supposed to be, it knows what notes, depending upon the scale you're in, it's supposed to be at. So here it knows the F and the C. It should only be on the F and the C. Now, are there times when it's not there? Yes, if you're doing a very intricate run, then it doesn't have to follow that format, but then you'll know how to move it around. So now it's not in this normal position, but I'm not doing a normal straight major scale chord. But that's the only way to train, really, to train your fingers. For those who are not who don't hear me talk a lot all the time, I preach scales for one reason. Well, two reasons. First of all, to train your hands how to move. Second reason, so you can hear where every note is. So you know where high and where low is, and then it's a matter of finding what notes are in between to find the chords. Chords are found in the scale, but it depends upon which one you're playing, major or minor. And there are two minor scales. There's the regular minor scale and the harmonic minor. And the harmonic minor scale. Which one do you choose? It depends upon the writer of the song. Me, I have discovered that gospel music uses only basically those two scales, major and the harmonic minor. There's the difference, and it jumps. That's what I have found. Anyway, that helps me in tearing apart a song that has chords or chording in it. I look to hear what scale are they writing their chords in, and then I work from there. Basically, I know I'm in the ballpark. Just where's my seat and what aisle I'm in. All right, so let me see who else joined. All right, so that's the beginning chords that we hear from the beginning of the video. Let's see what else is going on.
One more time. Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered that. Who just joined? All right, so I'm gonna scan a little bit more and see what else we got going on.
Speaks to me with my whole heart. I'll agree, and my answer will.
Okay, I'll say yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes.
Lord, yes.
Basic chords.
When
Ouch. Ouch. That hurt. Because I don't do that. So now I got to look, and what did he do there?
and my answer will be yes.
Yep.
Lord, yes.
All right. Jazz. All right. Dun, 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 dun. So now that I know where the notes are coming from, again, major scale. Still in the major scale, but it's just doing a jazz scale. Once you understand where the scale is, which tells you where the notes are, but what is he adding? He's adding this note, which is part of the scale, right? It's part of the scale. All part of the scale. And it's just rolling down. All right, let's hear what chord did he place after that one. Ah. Now I'm just resolving it, but that's where I would go. Okay. That's how I tear apart music. I'm listening to where every note is being placed. Who joined us? Let's see if I can clean that up from my side.
With my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes.
Okay, so we kept that chord up there. What did he resolve to from that chord?
I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes.
Comes to run. What chord? There's a chord there he used. Let me see if I can steal that.
Speaks to me with my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes.
Okay, what chord is? What scale did he get this chord from? It's not in G. I'm running my chords through my head now. My limited knowledge of jazz chords, I'm running through my head right now. What's in between? joined us. Welcome, Dante. We're just going over some chords from this Cory Henry YouTube video. Let me see if I can find what I'm missing.
When your spirit speaks to me, with my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes. When your spirit.
Okay, so we are resolving. So I do resolve from that change. So, when your spirit speak to me, and my whole heart I'll agree. And he's staying block chords. Answer will be yes, Lord, yes. I know where it's going to resolve to. It's the chord that finishes up. Who joined us? You're hearing my head figure out from here what chord does he have after this chord. Let me try if I can walk it down. And my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, and yes. Okay. The problem is there's no chord in this right hand. That's what I gotta listen to. No chord in the right hand, only the left.
Speaks to me with my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes.
All right, he. That's the chord I'm hearing him drop down to bum, 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 while he's coming up. And resolve. All right. Ballpark, maybe not the right aisle, but somebody's seat. One time, let's go past that.
I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes. When your spirit.
There's a different chord. Answer will be yes, Lord, yes. Ba-da-da-dum, bum. That's a strange chord to resolve to get back to where he was. Let's see why. What did I miss?
Speaks to me with my whole heart. I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes. When you speak.
Dun, dun, dun. That's not the chord. Okay. So that's not for what I'm supposed to be doing. We're just trying out some of the other chords in the song. Let's see where else he goes.
Speaks to me with my whole heart. I'll agree, and my answer, hallelujah, will be yes, and my answer will be.
All right. What was that drop down? Hear the highest note first.
Agree, and my answer, hallelujah, will be yes.
Did he go minor? Or major there?
Whole heart out.
He did. Okay, right after that chord.
Agree, and my answer, hallelujah, will be yes, and my answer.
Okay, there's the highest note. And my answer will be yes. I know I do this change. And my answer will be here. Nope, that's not the change. That's not the change. Always try to give it correctly as possible.
And my
And my these are the notes I'm hearing. And my will be yes. And my
answer.
right. I hit the lowest note, highest note, chords in between. And my lowest note could be right here. Again, could be here. Could be that be also be there also. To fatten the chord. Answer. That's where we stopped.
Hallelujah. Will be yes.
So, this is that ear training. Again, the scale. Those are the chords in the scale. If I omit all these other notes that I don't hear and play the ones I do hear, I'll find the chord. How do you find that in a scale? Emit the notes I don't hear. Now he's in a omit the notes I don't hear. So full chord, note at the top. Or accidental note there, change the key. There's that note. Da, 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 da. I want you to see this. I'm still in the scale. In the scale is where he's playing. Just holding a chord. And D.
And my answer.
So he's here. There it is. That's the change I didn't hear till I found out what led him to that chord. He's here. And my answer, no problem. Thomas Whitfield chords. And my answer. Those are my changes. Dun, 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 dun. And my answer will be yeah. It's a change. He dropped. After I do that drop down, I'm going to stop the video and let you guys go. Just want to acknowledge who else is in here the room with us. See, these guys, these are the type of things that I want to work on to help musicians, not just me, because I won't need these chords in my future. But if I can give you guys these chords now, imagine what you can do on a Sunday morning when you're the only musician playing. So he's in. Is that what he did? Let's go back and find it.
And my answer, hallelujah, will be yes. And my answer,
Down to. That's my highest note. Is that it? Let's see if that's it.
and my answer, hallelujah, will be yes. And my answer,
Okay. A flat. Not sure if that's where I am. That's how I would end it. Lord. And on the 4 for you guys that like the CCM ending of songs. Just going down, but he's rolling. Again, the thumb. This is all it is. One chord here. And resolve. Uh, 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 mm. Ballpark.
will be yes. My answer.
So it's a turnaround technique. My answer will be yeah, yes, yes. Um, Again, he's still in the scales. Let's finish it off.
Will be yes. Oh, and my yes.
Oh, stop. Now I got to get this last chord because he just went downtown on me.
Will be yes. My answer will be yes. Oh, and my answer.
Uh, for you guys who don't listen to classical music, that's where he's getting those chords from. That's from bum 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. And I'm going to stop right there because we could be here all night. Welcome, James. So yes, tearing apart another musician's chords is fun. Again, I spent the better part of my life not tearing apart one musician, but every song I've ever had to learn. That's what I would do. What is the piano doing? What is the organ doing? What are the synthesizers doing? And then I would learn all those parts and play them within the entire song. He is a gifted musician, and for me to be able to cut and paste any part of what he does is a gift of hearing, number one, because I got to be able to hear the notes, but first recognize that it's in a particular scale. Pick two scales, major or harmonic minor, and then find the notes by omitting all the notes in the scale except the ones you hear. If you don't hear a certain note, then don't play it. The notes you do hear, make it as minimal as possible. Start with the highest note, start with the lowest note, and begin to add the other notes of that scale in the middle. And trust me, as you can see me demonstrating how I just take it up, go back, listen to it, go back, try it, go back, listen to it again. What did I miss? What should I add? add that note, and then I go, okay, that's the chord he's doing at that particular moment. How long will he hang on that note before he changes? The runs and all that, that's an art. I don't have the art of runs. So if anything, I can, fake it. But you throw a chord at me and let me work on it and let me tear it apart. I don't care who you are. If you throw a chord at me, I will tear it apart from its highest note to the lowest note and fill in the middle. Thank you for those who have been watching me do this much longer than what I intended. I think we're over an hour and 21 minutes. Well, Cory Henry is 100% of whatever he has heard him play his entire life. So it's hard to say what is he using. He's using everything. Kitchen sink. He's a kitchen sink musician. Whatever he can find, whatever his heart or his mind pulls up, and as I say, I internalize chords when I'm playing. I'll be playing a song and I'm thinking 5, 6 chords ahead of the song, deciding what chord do I want to play. If it's not a hymn, of course, what chord do I want to play to get me to the next part of the song? He plays whatever chord comes in his head and however he wants to use it. Again, in this video, if you notice, he'll put his hand up to stop the musician in the back from playing because he's internalizing. Where am I want to go? While he's singing and playing, he's internalizing in his head. What do I want to do? I hadn't hit them with this chord yet. Oh, let me hit him with a little bit of classical. Let me hit a little bit of jazz. Let me hit him with a little bit of basic. Let me hit him with this. Ask him to play the same song twice, he probably couldn't. Like me, if I look at my videos that I put on YouTube and here on Facebook, if you ask me to play every exact note twice, I may get 80% of it because it's all about the moment. I'll throw a chord in it. When I see the video, I go, gee, when did I think of that chord? Well, it may have been one of the chords I was passing in my head, trying to choose. When I got to that point, boom, and then kept going. But this was a kind of a reaction video. There was a request posted about a time marker, 10:09, but I gave you marker 10. And I think I've given you something to work with, not just from that marker in this video, this YouTube video, but from the beginning and how he is manipulating this song for his benefits in the key of D flat. You won't find a lot of musicians who go play in D flat and become fluid in it. I am comfortable in it because I did a lot of D flat playing choir songs, and especially here on the East Coast playing with and working with Timothy Wright. D flat was his favorite key to put a song in. So if he played in it and I had to play one of his songs, I had to sound like him playing or the other musicians playing in the key of D flat. But I thank for those who have come in. Again, I want to make sure I missed anybody. If you, on this site, come up with another chord, another song you'd like a breakdown, again, there are other musicians who are going to tackle this. I hope I've given you a leg up on them. If they say, well, this is the chord I think I hear, you can say, well, okay, look at this video Mr. Talbot posted and tell me, does it sound closer to this? Again, with what I have here with the Chordy app and my keyboard, you see the stretch of my fingers and you see the actual notes in the key in which the Chordy app posted. I can't vouch whether or not they're the correct note names from Chordy app because sometimes I look at it and I question. But as I say, I put you in the ballpark and I put you in the right row. It may not be the exact seats, but you're 1 or 2 seats away. And I think it may be enough for you to be able to use your ear to fine tune how you believe that you hear it. So again, thanks for coming in. This is one of the things I enjoy doing, sharing music. Be blessed, everyone. Take care. Sam Tobit, Sound of Joy Music Services. And we are out.